So, just out of curiosity...
That's enough, that's enough.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Quit looking at me in the face. Jesus. Got him. Ladies and gentlemen, Misha Collins. I hope that wasn't an interesting question, because I totally just interrupted him. Was it Misha? Was it interesting? Okay, not interesting. It was Misha. Who I love sometimes. This has been an awesome first day. As y'all know, I have been here for 2 years, so I'm very thrilled about being here. For 2 years! I said for 2 years. Kmart, god damn it. Thank you for being so nice to my wife. I, for one, think she's pretty awesome, and she'll be here tomorrow for everybody. And if you don't think she's awesome, I am sure I'm bigger than you are. And I will beat your ass. Alright, let's go to, I'm so sorry. Sully, did you have questions for Misha? Or, oh, perfect. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine. I wanted to ask in Tall Tales, first Tricks episode, when Dean thought that Sam let the air off all of his tires and Sam thought Dean stole his money, that you were wrestling about the money. And I had a very long argument with my 4 years older sister, who won this fight.
Sam won the fight. Come on. I got 3 inches on the guy, and I'm taller. I think it was... I'm gonna dial it down. I think that was an awesome episode. I will say that the main thing that sticks out to me about that episode is that Richard Spade, it was written as an episode where there was supposed to be a trickster character that you see and you never see again. Like, that was it. But he was so awesome that they ended up writing him back into the show, obviously as an archangel, and then bringing him back as a director, and now he is the Richard Spade that we know and love today, all of us. So, like, go Tall Tales. But I think if that imaginary fight about money existed, I'd have to go Sam, because I outweigh him, and I'm younger, so I think I heal. But thank you so much, and I love the outfit.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Hi again.
Hey. So my question is about Sam.
I know him.
Okay, so I think, do you think his powers, his psychic powers are still dormant inside of him? And do you think the mark of Cain being on his arm even temporarily will affect him somehow?
I don't think that the mark of Cain will affect him, but I do think that his psychic powers, me personally, I think that his powers that he had will always be there. I don't know, what do you guys think? Yeah. Because that's something that he had from childhood. He didn't know they were dormant, and they were reawakened. I feel like the psychic powers, they almost happened, but if they had come to fruition, if they had completed, then he would have been able to back out of them. So I don't think the mark of Cain will do much, but I do think that he has some cool psychic powers that I hope that we re-explore.
Do you think we're gonna see that?
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Divorce, Kylo Ren.
Thank you.
Thank you, you got it.
Hey Jared.
Hi.
So I don't know how many are here today, but I'm a huge Gilmore Girls fan.
Alright, I see 5 of you. Damn, it's clapping. Very lowly. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could maybe tell us a story from the set, from the new episode we can, or the mini movies we can expect.
Okay. I would say probably a lot more than I'm supposed to. So, about a year ago, in June of 2015, the Austin Television Festival did a 15-year reunion of Gilmore Girls, which makes me feel really old. And when I saw everybody, and Amy, she was like, listen, we're trying to do sort of a reunion show or movie or another season. I'll call you if we make it happen. It wasn't happening yet. And then it happened, but I was doing Supernatural, and so she basically said, listen, we're gonna write you a really cool scene, and if you get a day off, let us know, and we will just put your scene on the schedule for that day. She was like, listen, it's a set that we already run and own. It's an actress that already is working every day, so let us know. And so Dean has a cool scene in the market he used to work in. And it's a really nice scene that gave me closure. When I stopped doing Gilmore Girls, it was abrupt. And that happens a lot. Like Jeffrey Dean Morgan was on our show, and then all of a sudden he was on another show. I was on Gilmore Girls, and all of a sudden I was on another show. And you get a lot. You get actors or actresses who come on your show, and they get something else, and it kind of is abrupt. And so for me, I never had closure. Like one day I was an actor on Gilmore Girls, the next day I had a TV show, and would never again be on Gilmore Girls. And so for me as a person, it was weird, because I was like, what about Dean? The real Dean. The original Dean. OG Dean. So it was fun to go and wrap it up in a really cool way.
It kind of felt like, okay, Dean has gone home, I guess.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Good. Hi.
Hi.
Again. My question is about Sam. Because of the whole helping Lucifer thing, I find it kind of weird. Like, I don't know, will Sam's pain ever get addressed? Like, he was abused for like, I don't know, 1,000 years or more, and now he has to help Lucifer. Like, how does he feel, and how did you feel? I don't know, knowing that that doesn't really get acknowledged?
I talked about this in my private meet and greet, and there were no cameras rolling, so I probably said more than I really would have. But what I would say is that the last episodes had a lot in them, and so we are allowed to film 42 minutes of a TV show, because you need 18 minutes of commercials, 42 minutes of content. And so there were some scenes that were written that were ultimately cut. And some of those scenes involved Chuck telling Sam why he should no longer be afraid of Lucifer while he's around. And so for me as an actor, I wanted to be, I know Sam. Sam is terrified of Lucifer. He's been Lucifer, he's been ruined by Lucifer, he's been in the cage in hell, the box in hell because of Lucifer. He doesn't want anything to do with him. So Sam doesn't feel comfortable. And there's a lot of choices I made as an actor that I'm sort of sad that they didn't show up on screen, but I understand that we're only allowed a certain amount of time. It's not Lord of the Rings, right, where you have 45 hours of whatever. So you're right, and I agree. And as I mentioned in my private, it's really cool because that is, the question you just asked is a discussion we had on a daily basis in March of this year. So, like Jensen and Misha and Mark and Ruthie and, you know, Emily and Rob and I, we have these discussions, and then we're like, you know what? Let's no one's gonna really know or look into it, and then you come here to Italy, and people are like, what about this? And you're like, oh my God, like people are paying attention. Like it's really cool. I mean it. Like kudos to you, and kudos to you, and kudos to all of you, because we have these discussions because we live this show 184 days out of the year. And so we overthink it, it's our job, and we know that once they call cut, moving on, like, you don't get another chance, but your choice will live forever. So we know that our choices will last forever. And so it's just really nice, it's really nice. This is the first time I've had a chance to see people who've watched the show, and we're going like, wait a second, I took issue with this, and I'm like, I did too! Like, me too! So, kudos to you, but I think it gets explained. But I think the big deal was that what maybe the audience didn't see is that Chuck told Sam and Dean that they did not need to be scared of Lucifer. Chuck, God, basically said, listen guys, if you have some grievances, air them, or display them. I'm trying to figure out the proper word to translate into foreign languages. Let them manifest, because you're safe. And so, I feel like that's why Sam was maybe a bit more brash than I would have liked.
Okay.
But thank you for noticing. Very, very cool. And good on you.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you. It's okay.
I was wondering, since you travel a lot, what's your favorite city or country?
Listen, I'm outnumbered by the audience. My Italian wife is sitting over there, so I don't know what to. Thanks, Cliff. My favorite city is Austin. But my favorite country is Italia. I do, for those of you who met Jenny today, I obviously do I take a lot of opportunities to meet with the people who are as much part of the show as I am, i.e. y'all. And my wonderful wife usually mothers our two kids, but when it's time for Italy, she's like, I want to go. And we love Italy. And we were already in love, but we fell super in love here in Italy 8 years ago, many years ago, and said whatever it was. So I love Italy. A long time. I remember it like it was yesterday. I love Italy. I could be here forever and ever. But I do love Austin. Austin brings me, when I go to Rome, or many places in Italy or France or whatever, I get really anxious. Like it feels like I gotta do something or see something, or if I just go to bed at 9 p.m. because I'm jet lagged, I'm like, I ruined the day. I ruined today. I didn't take advantage of today. But something about Austin makes me feel like it's okay. Like you can just be you. And so everybody finds their place where they can just be them. For me, the place I can just be Jared, and I have a beard, and I'm sunburned or whatever, but it's okay, and no one's judging you. To me, that's Austin. To me, where I would be if I had all the time and money in the world, it would probably be here in Italy. So, very fun. What about you?
Milan.
Milan. See, I've only been there one day. I'd like to be there more. Call Daniela. Daniela, come on, Milan. Thank you. Hi.
Okay, sorry, my question is, for quite a few seasons, it's been more of shown from Dean's point of view. I was wondering when there would be the time when they show more about Sam's point of view.
Yeah, me too. No, I think one of the fun things about Supernatural is that it started out as Sam's point of view, and we've been able to, with y'all's blessing, kind of take it through Sam's, through Dean's. There aren't a lot of shows or movies or trilogies, or even if you take Harry Potter, which is 7 books or 8 movies, it's still 16, 17, 18 hours. We have 200 hours of film to watch, to study, to be a part of. And so I feel like we've been able to kind of study everybody's point of view. I think, for me, I'm okay with it being Dean's point of view or Sam's point of view. I'm just excited as a fan to learn more, I guess, about what's going on and who sees what. And I think, and I don't know if a lot of y'all are politically involved, and I'm not going to get political, but to mention, like the U.S., we have an election coming up, and there are some pretty extreme candidates. And so I'm going to be as neutral as possible. But you sort of go like, you learn so much by looking at somebody and going, I'm not going to think you're crazy or different. I'm going to try and figure out why you think what you think. And not that you're worse than I am or better than I am, but I just am curious as to why your brain goes here. Because you're not stupid, you're not mean, you're just you, and you're a human, born like the rest of us and raised. And why do you think what you think? And so I think Supernatural, doubling back, has been able to do that, to go like, well, Sam sees it this way, and Sam sees himself as kind of a mess up, or he hasn't been able to do what Dean has. And then Dean thinks the same way, and you're like, well, why does Dean think that? Why does Sam think that? And so I think it'll keep kind of going round and round, much like life does. It's cyclical, and for me, that's part of the excitement. So maybe we'll double back to Sam soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hi.
Hello. You have a new showrunner, and this is going to be your 4th showrunner on the show, and
Yeah.
other shows. I was just wondering, in your mind, what are the traits of a good showrunner, and what are you hoping for going forward?
I was afraid.
You don't have to name any person.
I was afraid somebody would ask me that. The traits of a good showrunner are somebody who I'm actually really thinking. Can we play rock, paper, scissors? I think traits of a good showrunner are somebody who has a great idea, a great plan, but they are willing to let the best idea win. So somebody who has, it's the best coach, the best showrunner, the best boss, the best president. If somebody says, hey, I'm a genius, I'm gonna call this website the Facebook. And somebody else who's nobody says like, just call it Facebook. And they go like, yeah, you're stupid, that's not my idea. You know, like somebody who listens, somebody who has a plan, and somebody who has a vision, but somebody who realizes, and I'll take this from Bill Clinton, he said, nobody's right all the time, and even a broken clock is right twice a day. So that idea, somebody who has a very clear picture of what they want to do, but has a very open ear, or open pair of ears about other ideas. And for some reason this just came up. We did an episode this year called, not Real Meat, Red Meat, where Sam gets shot. And our director, Nina Lopez Corrado, she had a very clear picture of what she wanted. And she could have, if no one said a word, she could have directed a great episode. But every now and again, we'd be like, hey, Nina, can I do this? And she'd be like, yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I think of is that she had this picture in her head, and she had the shot of Sam getting shot and falling to his knees. And then I was like, hey, Nina, you know what? I can hold blood in my mouth and a sponge, and as I fall to my knees, I can spit blood out because I've just been shot. It might be a cool, maybe you use it, maybe you don't. And she was like, I didn't even think about that. Absolutely. Like there wasn't any pride. There was a pride